my incredible, exceptional existence community. Hi guys. It's so good to be here with you tonight. What are we going to talk about? Well, I'm going to talk about kinking your hose. I think I've spoken about this before, but let's talk about it a little bit more because I'm so incredibly passionate about it. So I have this incredible girlfriend of mine. Love her to pieces. She's such an incredible, accomplished human being. But I realized the other day when we were having a chat that I noticed that she's kinking her hose. And I realized, oh my God, I think I did that for a couple of years. Okay, now let me explain what I mean by kinking your hose. Basically, what I'm talking about is when you focus so much on achieving something, so much on a goal that you want, that you don't let yourself do anything else. And generally, perhaps while you enjoy working towards this goal, you don't allow yourself other pleasures. Okay, so either maybe you like to do other hobbies, maybe you want to focus on building your network or your community, I should say, and really making sure to do some fun things as well, instead of just focusing on executing a particular task that will hopefully result in a particular outcome, perhaps for your future or whatever. And so I would say to you guys, it's incredibly important to have focus. We talk about that a lot, and in terms of what your goals are and what you want to achieve and how you focus on them and what you do every day to get a little closer to that. But do you stop and allow for yourself to connect with community, to, really look after your heart, make sure you have a lot of love in your life, whatever that may mean? Are you doing that? Because if you just think, you know what, no, I'm going to focus on this particular thing, then I feel like you kind of kink your hose, because it's like you're focusing so much on it that it's like, then comes negative thoughts from what happens if this doesn't happen? Oh my God, maybe it's not going to happen. And when that happens, you kink your hose. And when I say you kink your hose, it's like it doesn't flow anymore. And so there's a lot of, like, when you read books about the power of the universe and stuff like that, it talks about the fact that it's not necessarily all about hard work. It's not just about working, grinding. There is a part of it that's important, but if you don't focus on your feelings, and that's why I keep saying use your feelings as your compass. So focus on how it feels. I'm doing this now. Am I feeling joyous? Am I feeling in flow? Or am I feeling frustrated? Am I feeling angry? Am I feeling resentful that I'm focusing on this and I can't allow myself to do anything else until I do a certain number of things on this? And is it getting to the point where I am not feeling good at all, but I continue to grind? And I really believe that is not a positive way to work and move forward towards achieving your goals. It is so important. I've been reading a couple of books about people that are building these empires and are reading, and they always give themselves a day off. But interestingly, in that day, so many of them spend time visualizing and picturing what it is that success looks like for them, which you guys know I love to do. So that's what I mean, guys. Making sure that you figure out what it is that makes you happy. Is it dance? Is it knitting? Is it something else? And are you doing it? And I think the other thing that I've really learned as well is to make sure to connect with communities. Make sure we're here in this human body because we can connect with other people, right? So it's really important to make sure that you do have a community, because community is so incredibly important. When you feel like you belong somewhere, it does incredible things for you, okay? And so when I say love, whether that be with another person or a community, it's really important to make sure that you feel loved and cherished and valued and a part of something, which is why also we talk a lot about making sure you find what you do, because what you love to do, because when you find what you love to do, that's when you truly find a place where you feel you belong, because you're surrounded by all these people that talk your talk. They love what you love. They're turned on by the same things. And so in those environments, like I talk about a lot, in those tribes, you're not tolerated, you're celebrated. And you celebrate each other together, and you celebrate everything that's happening in your lives together. Hi, Susan! Shout out, love shout out. So guys, I would just say if there's something you are working towards, and if you're in this community, you probably are. There's probably one, if not two, perhaps 10 goals that you're working towards. And what I would say to you is just make sure that you are always checking in with your feelings. They are your compass. If you start to really feel frustrated, like, oh my God, this is terrible and I'm going to have to stay here and do this, I really don't think any of the work that you do in that situation will really get you anywhere. You'd be better off stopping, pulling yourself back, going to the gym, going for a walk, going to see a friend, doing something you love, whatever that is, so that you can come back and be in flow. Because we all know what it feels like when you're in flow, when you've got something down and you're actually really in flow. Now, when I say that, I would also encourage you to not just sit down and then be like, this feels good, I'm going to go play. Allow for yourself, because we also talk about that in the community. So, oh my God, I'm getting to refer to all these past posts. The idea of sometimes it just doesn't flow. You need to sit down and actually try and get into something. And then perhaps you'll be like, oh my God, I'm so in this now. I don't want to leave. I didn't want to sit and do this, but now I'm so all over it. But if you're going to get to that point, get yourself up and go do something you love, because life is too short to sit there and feel like obligated to do something that you're really not moving the needle on. And then when you come back refreshed, you'll feel so inspired to do more, become more, be more, and bring your dream forward to the world. And guys, you know how I always believe that if you go out to your communities and you find your tribes and you find what you love to do, you will then find a place where people connect you to new things that you need. And it may not have anything to do with the hobby itself, but it's where your tribe is, it's where you're celebrated, it's where your frequency is high. And then when a high frequency environment, opportunities fall on your lap. So with that, guys, I just want to say, in terms of an action item, if you are at the moment feeling like that, if you're feeling like you just work to try and achieve this thing, maybe have a think about really connecting in with your feelings. If you're working and you're like, oh my God, I feel more alive than I've ever felt, and I'm just working 24/7 and this is amazing, keep going. But if you're finding yourself in a situation where you're like, I am not enjoying this and I'm pushing myself and I'm sitting here because I know that I'll think, oh, well, at least I sat there all day. But usually when you get to the end of those days where you sit there and you do absolutely nothing productive, you don't feel any better anyway, and emotionally you feel terrible. So with that, guys, I'm going to sign off. If you can't relate to that now, perhaps in the future sometime you'll think, oh my God, I'm having that feeling. I need to get up. I don't want to kink my hose. So guys, with that, I'm going to sign off. If you think that there's somebody in your community that would benefit from this post, please do tag them in the comment section below. I didn't really tell you the story about my friend. Let me just tell quickly. So she's very focused on her work at the moment, and she has like a life plan that was really something she really wants to achieve. And so she's very much going for that. But it really feels that now that it's just constantly her focus, and she's stopping herself from doing things that she loves to do because she's like, no, I need to get this in check first, and then I can go and do those other things. And I think that's really starting to affect her emotionally. I think she's getting depressed. I think she's losing herself, and I've known her for some years and I've seen the change in her. So, but at the same time, she's so much in this grind where it's like, no, I've got to do this, I've got to do this. And be careful of that, guys, because when you get into that grind, remember 30 days, it takes 30 days to create a new habit, and then you're stuck. Okay. So just be really aware of that as well. And if you do find that you're in that situation, perhaps you could say to yourself, it's time to create a new habit. Here starts my 30 days. And with that, I've asked you to tag somebody if that would help them. So that's tick that box. Guys, if you haven't joined our community, make sure to do so. I actually have started to listening to certain recordings every morning that YouTube's recommending to me, which I thank you, YouTube. Thank you. Don't thank you for your ads, but I thank you for these recommendations because I'm really loving them. So a lot of them inspire me for these posts, but also other ones I just think, you know what, I want my community to hear about them. So I will be sharing those with you when they come up, not every day, but when they come up and something inspires me, I'll absolutely share those with you as well. And that will be only if you've joined our community, because that's the only way I'm going to get to you. And with that, guys, I'm going to sign off. Time for me to go out and